¡A sus estaciones de combate!
Oh, great start. Let's begin by just destroying our voice. So, hello and welcome back to World of Warships 2025. This is the first year of 2025, and it's the same. The game is still the fun old mess it's always been, shall we say. And unfortunately, this game, for once, this is my third game of the day, and there's no aircraft carrier. The first I've just bought this ship, and I thought about doing a live impressions video like I did previously, and I decided I'm just going to play this ship and see what happens for my first game, and it was dreadful because there was an aircraft carrier. And that happened for the second game, and this is the third game after a short break, where I went away to do some anger management, short course. So that is a lie, but this game does that to you, like, well, it's the rage engagement factor. But anyway, enough about that, and let's talk about this ship, the Alvaro de Bazan. Probably butchering that. I'm not Spanish, so that's how I'm going to say it. My apologies. The Tier 10 Premium Spanish Destroyer, which is available for, I think, 228,000 coal. I've been saving up coal for the defense. Where's my defense wargaming? I still don't have it. I wish they would release that ship or talk about it or do something apart from just leaving it behind an unobtainium Christmas crates paywall. This ship was made quite available from when it came out. It was, I'm gonna say, slightly over a year ago. This came into the game and it was basically forgotten. A lot of people just didn't get it because it's well, there wasn't really a Spanish line. There's just the Spanish line of cruisers. Notice that Grozavoid, by the way, because we're gonna come back to him. I should probably mention that this is not a live commentary. So I can actually talk about what's not happening in the game. Yeah, the Des Moines is about to radar us, and I really want to get my burst fire on this Grozavoid, which is what we're going to do right here. And right on cue, this is this ship's party trick. That's 10,000 damage in one go. And I missed a couple of those shells as well. You'll notice I'm immediately running away, because after you've used your burst fire, it takes a little bit longer for your guns to reload. The base reload of this ship is, I think, 5 seconds or so. And if you use the burst fire, it trebles it, basically, to about 15 seconds. So, if you're using the burst fire, you basically have to make sure that A, you can disengage, or B, you're going to kill your opponent outright. Because if you don't, you're just sitting around with no guns. And you're being shot at and taking damage. This game is going to end almost down to the wire, and I'm going to be the only survivor. So, yeah, that kind of confirms that we're going to win. I hope I'm not spoiling anything, but it's a worthwhile win. Anyway, enough about what's going to happen. Let's just talk about the ship. So, 30,000 health. Well, survivability expert, and the new flag that's been put into the game. Here we go again. This wasn't the best time to use the burst fire because, as you saw, he went dark, and we only land one shell. But at the same time, it's not a risky time for me to use it because I'm not in any danger, and so I can kind of use it with impunity.
Sobrealimentación desactivada.
Another risk of using the burst fire is that you can't always set a fire. So if you're, say, farming a battleship, it's best to just use the normal firing mode as opposed to the burst fire, because if the burst fire doesn't set a fire, you're going to be going around with no guns. You're going to have to wait 15 seconds. Excuse me for a second. And when you're doing stuff in a ship that has decent sustained DPM and pretty good shell arcs, the shell arcs on this are kind of a cross between, say, somewhere like the Habarovsk and then the Marceau. They're in the middle. You've got almost Marceau DPM. there I am using it again, just getting past the island. And as you see, no fire. So I can't... He did go dark, but if he had been a target sitting there, I wouldn't have been able to continue shooting him. But there's... And also the range of this ship. The maximum range is 12.6 kilometers. The torpedoes actually go a little further. The torpedoes are sea mines. They're very slow and they're very easy to detect. So they're more area denial than actually I am torping with intent to hit here. I am constantly trying to get a shot on this Grozavoy. We end up doing 25,000 health to him, which is almost his full health pool, minus a couple of heals. But you'll notice now we're 5 minutes in, and everything is looking quite spread out. No one's died, and this is normally the point. If you get to this stage in your game and no one's died, it's normally the point where a lot of people are going to start dying. Because they've been making mistakes and they're getting stuck into their positions with no way to pull back, really. And so that's why I'm playing very conservatively at this cap. I haven't contested... Well, I've got... Which cap did I go to? Was it the B cap or something? I'm not going into that cap because it would be a death sentence. And also, this is the flank where I don't have a team presence. I only have the Colombo behind me and the Colbert, who's having trouble with the submarine. But if we push into what's coming, those battleships, and the Grozavoy and the submarine, we're just going to die, lose the flank, and lose the game. And we've lost all 3 caps. Even the cap where our team has the largest presence. We're just really struggling. So I'm gonna have to do something about that. And fortunately, this is the team that the matchmaker has given me is pretty good. Both of the teams in this game, as opposed to the 2 previous games, were terrible. And unfortunately, that's the nature of the beast. But this game, there's competent players. There's me just trying to get to know this ship. And would it have been more fun to do a live rendition? Perhaps not. So anyway, here comes the Grozavoy, and this is a great opportunity to kill him because he's trapped in front of me at 7 kilometers. You can see the shelf flight time there. It's not great, but it's also not terrible. It's not a Marso, and here comes the death strike. I was expecting him to pop smoke here, which is why I used the burst fire, and end up using it to confirm the kill, and taking no damage. Whenever you're fighting a Bazan, you need to be always aware that if the Bazan knows what they're doing, if they're a competent player, and they use that burst fire correctly, they'll use it, immediately turn away, and probably also smoke as well. And you'll have just taken, if you've played poorly, about 10,000 damage or more in one go. And you won't really be in a position to fight them. It's a very nasty ace to have up your sleeve. So anyway, we're still losing. We don't have any caps. And the enemy team... We have one more ship than them, but they've got all the caps, so we need to come to them. Which is one of the reasons I'm coming forward. I'm coming to the B cap because I know there isn't a destroyer here. And also that anything that wants to contest me is going to have a pretty hard time of doing it. The Montana, he might come into the cap, but battleships don't like pushing destroyers, let's put it that way. And we've also got some success at the A cap. We've got the Colbert and the Colombo, having defeated the submarine and obviously pushed off those 2, the Yamato and the Montana, those 2 battleships. They're getting into the cap. So I'm thinking we have A cap, we have C cap, let's go B cap. I really apologise for this continued cough. I had the flu a couple of weeks ago and it just hasn't gone. But what the hell? We have a game to record. Oh, I think that Yamato is going down now to the Napoli, but at least the Hoffman has died now. Oh, he's got a heal off. He is going to go down. All three of those ships there are going to go down. I should really stop spoiling what's going to happen and just let it happen. But someone has to do the talking here. Yeah, and there it goes. We are trading. We're not trading. We're losing ships, and that's bringing us down to the same number. And this isn't what you want to happen. The culvert got unlucky. It's a culvert. If you sneeze in its direction, it's going to explode. And this is another brilliant time to use our burst fire, because we're going behind this island. So instead of getting off maybe one salvo before the island gets in the way, we can do 3 and go dark. And there's a fire. Now if we land a torpedo here after this, no, I'm not foreshadowing anything, wink wink nudge nudge, then he's just going to be flooding. But the enemy team has a lot of points. And with the culvert going down, we've been delayed on our capture of A. So it's not done. Of course, we're not doing badly either. Due to the conservative state of my play, I haven't lost a lot of health. Now, maybe I could have played more aggressively. But one of the things about this ship, people see 30,000 health and they think, well, it's going to be a tank. This ship is massive. It accelerates very slowly. It turns very slowly. The turrets, the gun turrets, traverse very slowly. And yeah, I think that's all of it. Basically, this ship is a very easy target to hit. It's not like, it doesn't have any improved saturation. It doesn't have any improved armor plating. It's just a lot of health. And obviously, having health is a bonus. But as I discovered in my 2 previous games, especially when I was focused by the aircraft carrier, because this ship doesn't have good AA, it's got very good normal concealment for a gunboat destroyer like this. It's got average air concealment and dreadful anti-aircraft armament. Do not use this ship to shoot down planes. It just won't happen. So I'm gonna hold my shot on the Montana here, because shooting a bow on battleship, all of your shells are going to shatter on their turrets, no matter what ammunition you're firing, unless you're if you're a destroyer. And I want to kill him, but I don't have to kill him here. It is better for me to stay undetected, given that I'm currently sandwiched between 2 battleships. I could smoke, but then no one's gonna spot him because I'm on my own. But the Colombo secures the kill for us, and I can sit here and take the cap undisturbed. I'm still playing conservatively, and at this point there's no room to make any mistakes, because I don't want to get caught at very close range to St. Vincent, and I don't want to give the enemy any chance of winning this game by killing the Colombo. Because he's going to go very low on his health. He's already only at like 14k, and he's fighting a Yamato with overmatch. And taking a little while to kill him. So we now reach the time of the day where we're going to start torturing this St. Vincent. And we're going to do some nasty damage to this guy, because I'm going to be farming him uncontested. It would be an effort for any battleship, and there goes the Yamato. It would be an effort for any battleship to deal 30,000 health to a destroyer on its own, unless they are at point blank range and the destroyer doesn't have any torpedoes. So I can kind of do what I want with this guy. And what I want to do is prevent him from capping no matter what. I'm going to be resetting him. I'm not going to be making myself known. I'm going to be resetting him only when I have to. It's going to take him just about 50 seconds to take this cap. And I'm going to be stopping him when he makes a lot of progress, as opposed to just farming him. You'll notice again that we've just used our burst fire and we haven't set a fire. So that is the downside of the burst fire mode. If you use it, you're going to be left with this period where you can't do anything, and you're just concentrating on dodging shells, if we put it that way. And you will notice again that the front turrets, look at how long they are taking to turn around. And that's with the buff commander skill, actually, that increases the traverse speed of the turrets. I'm using a 19-point commander. I'll pop my build up at the end. I only have one high level Spanish captain. It's just how the Spanish territory is, because there really aren't any Spanish ships, so you don't have the opportunity for it. And here goes the burst fire again. Fortunately for a mode which is where it's limited to shoot, the burst fire is actually more accurate than the ship just firing on its own. And we did get the fire this time, and because we already got a flooding on him, which he damage controlled, he's going to be burning. All these shells are going to miss because he's slightly out of my range. I went reload mod because I'm a gunboat destroyer. And there is the commander skill that will boost your range. And when I get that, I might respec. I might not. I might play around with it and try and boost the damage of the guns, because they're good guns. You've got 8 of them, but the shells don't do the highest amount of damage compared to some things. Just a little bit of ribbing in the chat there. I want to do a little bit more damage to him, and he wants to go and kill the Colombo, whom, as he's noticed, is on quite low health. This is one of really the perfect situations to use the burst fire. There are islands, and it also means that I can unleash my DPM, and then, at the end of this 15-second period, decide whether to go dark or not. And so, this is an ambush destroyer. It's an ambush gunboat destroyer. Where, again, just get my shots out, go behind an island, rinse and repeat. And he's really not enjoying that. You can see that he's just completely decided to go away. He doesn't want to fight me. And he can't really contest me, which is one of the unfortunate realities of being a battleship, being stalked by a lone destroyer. Particularly one that also has external spotting. There's just nothing the battleship player can really do against a lone destroyer. It's one of the reasons this game, does it need ground up spotting rework? Perhaps not, but there are classes that just abuse spotting. And the end of this game is approaching, because the Colombo is about to get his shot. The Vincent is trying to get all his guns on the Colombo. Just saying, another fire. Yep, here it comes. Colombo, who actually beat me in this game, interestingly enough. He came top score with, 2,500 XP. We'll see in a second. He had a really good game, so I complimented him at the end. We've made a fair bit of money. We've done a great bit of damage. It's a good farmer. Is it an all-rounder? I don't know. He got a well-deserved +1, and everyone in this game, no one really ran away or played like a. I'm sure there were potatoes. You can see the enemy submarines did a really good job. Yeah, the most broken class in the game, and still coming in like a round bottom, which probably helped us out. Oh, what was I saying? The point is, everyone gave their all in this game, which was a rare thing in the evening compared to when most people just come on and they want to rinse and repeat their games. But everyone gave their all, which is why I wanted to feature this in an impressions video as opposed to a live video or a review. I might give a full review of this ship, something a little bit more scripted in the future, but anyway, until that time, until the next game, until whatever brings me back to your screens. No one's ever going to hear that line. Can we get it to 20 minutes? No, we can't. If you made it to this point, thank you very much for watching, and see you again next time.